Now we're going to take a look at what else we can do with this grouped frequency table. So this is the third time you've seen it, and there's actually 4 things you can do with it. And what we're going to do now is called a histogram. Now, a histogram's like a bar chart, but instead of frequency up the vertical axis, we have something called frequency density. And to find that, you need to know the frequency, which we have in the table, and we also need to know the class width. So you can see here, they're all 10, the difference is 10, apart from this bottom one, that's why I've highlighted it, the difference is 20. Now with a histogram, we quite often see differences that aren't the same. So frequency density, dead easy to remember. The first word is frequency, so that's the first thing in the formula, and it's divided by class width. So those numbers are pretty easy to come by because they're all divided by 10. So this could be a non-calculated question, but most of the time it's on a calculator paper and the numbers are a little bit more tricky. So one of the things you can do as well is from these tables we haven't talked about yet is the modal group. So we did the median group with cumulative frequency. Now we're going to have a look at the modal group, and that's plural for mode, which means for most common. So which of these groups had the most in them? Well, it's this one here. Just looking for the highest number in the frequency. Now, so we draw the graph. So it's a bar graph, pretty much, apart from this frequency density, and the widths can change. Once again, a histogram, I said once again, I haven't told you this yet, but the bars touch on a histogram. On a bar chart, they actually are separate. On a histogram, they touch. And that's pretty much it. That's how you draw a histogram. Quite often now they leave you the scale off, so you have to make that up yourself based on what numbers you've calculated, make it a bit more challenging. And sometimes they give you a histogram and they ask you some information about the original frequency. So you can see here I haven't got it, but you can remember it's 6 on that first one. And it's actually, you have to find the area of each bar, and that will tell you the frequency. So the area of this one would be 10 times 0.6, which is 6, 5, 8, 4, and 2. So the areas, the bars tell you the frequency, and use the formula frequency divided by class width to find the frequency density. And they can ask you all sorts of questions on it, but it should make sense from there. This is the hardest part. So go and try some, and I hope it all makes sense.